Hi, my name is Regina, and I'm gonna talk about what's happening with the Ukraine conflict and some historical background and stuff like that. So, first of all, I'm gonna start telling that the relationship between Russia and Ukraine is now at its lowest point. Just a few weeks ago, the top leaders of the United States and the European Union accused Russia of preparing an invasion to Ukraine. The representative of Russia in view of the European Union has this Wednesday rejected the accusations and has required the United States for some proof. But despite the gesture of relaxation, the United States and NATO remain on alert.
Hi, my name is Paulina Hernández, and today we're going to continue talking about the Ukraine and Russia conflict. We're going to talk about where it has been taking place and the location that it has been settled. It has been taking place and started by the invasion of Russia in Ukraine. As we know, these are the two main places where it has been taking place, but also like Crimea and Donbass, spillovers in Kherson Oblast of Ukraine, Rostov Oblast in Russia, and Sea of Azov. It has been a market of Russian troops, which has taken over Crimea. And by mid-April of 2021, Russia had a civil troop where it took place around the border of Ukraine and the Crimean Peninsula. There has been more than 400 Russian forces were Crimea and Ukraine eastern border, so it has been taking place around every area of it. And also, as we know, there have been really different state actors which have been resulting to be a really important international actors, and one of them has been the NATO. I think you and all of us have been heard a lot through the class, and it's an intergovernmental organization that guarantees security and freedom of each country.
Hi, my name is Lucia Niebla, and I'm gonna continue talking about the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna give some examples of two non-state actors, one of which would be the NATO, and the other one has to be the social media and other types of media, because they have a lot of control in this situation and are part of the miscommunication that is going on at the moment. Like it hasn't been handled that well, and since news goes around too fast, words can get twisted really easily. And as for the NATO, it has to make the decision of accepting Ukraine and having Russia turn against them in weapons, most likely. Some of the relevant key concepts to better understand this conflict is threat, because we believe that it is very important to establish that in most, if not all, armed conflicts, one should, in order to digest it best, delimited what the reasoning behind this is. Most of the time, it starts as a threat or fear that some other country will take a significant advantage over others. Another key concept is an ally or allies, because when a threat comes, countries' leaders will have to look for allies in order to stay safe and to better the situation of their country. And also decision, because like I said, the leaders of the countries really have to take into account all of the circumstances in order to find a better way out of it for their citizens. So to put this conflict into two theoretical perspectives, Russia, it is very logical that they would not want Ukraine to join the NATO, because they are pretty much alone in Europe, since most of the countries do have already joined the NATO. So if Ukraine were to add up, they'd be left alone and most Europe would turn against them. And also, they've already made physical threats to Ukraine and other countries if the NATO were to accept them into it. And also, it would mean that the US has won, and there's an age-old battle between Russia and the USA to be the leader of all countries. But now China is backing Russia up, and that is also a very well-known rival to becoming the leading country. On the other hand, Ukraine is right to seek to join a well-established treaty, particularly for the recent growing tension from the leading countries. If a war were to break up, they'd be backed up by some powerful nations, not only in Europe but also in America. And that is something that totally benefits them, and even if it means losing Russia's support, which they don't necessarily have now that they have established that they would want to join the NATO.